Greetings and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4 and the great conflict with the Mexican Socialist Republic fighting all adversaries, both foreign and, well, just foreign actually. Well, possibly there is some kind of weirdness going on with Project 17 and the effects that it may be having to the time-space continuum and the possible future destiny of the Mexican Socialist Republic among the stars. Sleepers awake in the great void. But here and now, in the conflict in the year 1946 that will define the future of these peoples, we have been doing rather well. In an amazing moment of foresightedness, Gallardo Magna and his magical, mystical mustache of, predicting the future, was able to pull back his troops just as the Americans launched a devastating attack across the entire front line. And although things looked pretty hairy for a while there, the deployment of a nuclear weapon and also just the general stalwart, excellent fighting prowess of the Mexican Revolutionary Guard has allowed us to push back pretty strongly. We have had a breakthrough here that we need to deal with. We've got a few troops off to do that right now. Also looks like we're losing here a little bit. We should probably... Look, we've got some guys coming in. You guys come in there. Have we had anyone new deployed yet? No, we're still waiting on troops. We're still waiting on troops. Are we actually producing any Infanteria Bravados? We've got Unicornios and Bravado. Oh, look, we've got 4 units of Bravados nearly ready and 4 units of Unicornios nearly ready for deployment. These are coming into Baja, California. Baja, California? And indeed, Chihuahua. Did I get that right? Chihuahua. Possibly not said in quite such a, outlandish fashion. Where is Chihuahua? Is it down here somewhere? Tampas, Veracruz, Chihuahua. There we go. Coahuila? Coahuila? Was that the one? No, it was not. Chihuahua, there we go. Alright, so they're coming in here. That's fine. And Baja, California must be over here somewhere. Right, there we go. Yes. These are good places. These are exactly where we need our troops. And indeed, it may allow us to continue the fight back against the Americans, which is going pretty well. Let's unpause it and allow time to progress on here a little bit. These troops are deciding to go for a mighty jaunt across the country, as are these troops, it seems. You two also can join in the attack. We need to stop this breakthrough, because obviously if they start rampaging around, it's going to cause us problems. The Boffins, working like absolute demons right now, after having completed Mexican Zork and Mexican Zork 2, presumably, have been just cranking out the research. And the improved infantry equipment 3 has been completed, which is excellent. Do we want any other improved infantry equipment? We could get night vision. Let's not bother with night vision right now, shall we? There's got to be something more important to get for us. MPs. Maintenance companies. We do have a few maintenance companies in operation. We don't have any signals companies out there. I don't even know what they do. Tactical bombers 3. Jet strategic bombers. 747 days to research. But how awesome would that be? Jet fighters 2. I mean, it's like a 2, 3, 4-year research. That's a long time. It's probably not going to really be important for this particular conflict. Should we just get tactical bombers 3? There we go. There we go. That's the thing to do. Come on, yes, drive them out, drive them before you, my glorious Mexican soldiers. Gallardo, of course, having won the battle to hold on to Southern California, is now plotting the retake of Northern California, where he forgot he has left his last great cache of special Cuban cigars, which he uses in his planning. So that's obviously of paramount importance right now. Decryption, automated deduction has been completed. Fantastic. The Boffins just really doing all of the deducing that we need them to do right now. Centimetric radar. Do we need more radar at the moment? Is there something that will give us more bang for our bucks? What about air doctrines? Should we grab hunt and destroy? Air support mission efficiency plus 20%. Yes. Yes. Focusing on our air force. That is the task for the Boffins right now in this time of great need and peril. Let's unpause it. We've got a bit of a battle on our hands here. We can support up here. Pull up there to protect that bit of territory. It would be nice if Louis Farrell was doing a better job of managing this front line, but it's fine. We'll just, we'll just get stuck in and do our bit. Help him out. Deploy the troops where they need to be. Think about this counterattack. So, I mean, he keeps attacking here, but we clearly have superiority. We could take like a bunch of these guys. In fact, let's plan an attack. Where do we want to get to? We already have an attack plan. Look, it's like that. It's a pretty substantial attack. I mean, it basically involves just marching across the country in some kind of glorious campaign. Should we try executing it and see what happens? Gallardo Magna, do you think you can pull it off? I mean, it's a really ambitious attack right there. You're going for Portland, the great city of Portland. Presumably that's where you believe that your secret cache of Cuban cigars has been removed to. And so that is his... You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. We'll see what happens. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? We've got quite a lot of forces here. His forces seem to be really beleaguered and things. So, a major offense right now could be enough to just completely throw the Americans. They might not have any idea what's going to happen to them. Of course, it might also just sort of like lengthen our front line to the point of collapse. Come on, boys. Come on, get stuck in there. Did you win? Did you win? Are these American planes? We must have air superiority. Surely we have air superiority. Uh-oh, what was that? Unraid naval convoy battle report. We've just sunk American convoys. Good work, Admiral Paul Suarez, the canoe man himself, sinking undefended American convoys. That's the way we like it. Did you not successfully manage to attack here? I assume you didn't, even with our glorious air support raining various types of death and destruction down upon our enemies. Okay, well, never mind. Just try again. Keep them distracted. Keep their attention fixed on you, so that Frodo can destroy the ring. I mean, so that Gallardo can break through up here in Northern California and manage to drive back the American forces, possibly even taking the whole of California. I mean, it's really probably not what we want to do, because it's just going to extend our front line horribly. But if we can, like, push this front line back, whilst he's distracted. It's good. It's good. It's all good. It's very difficult to, talk and stuff whilst whilst executing this incredible plan. But what's that city? New Orleans. Oh, we want New Orleans for our precious as well. Get down here. I worry that Louis Farrell maybe has got a little bit too much on his plate. He's really finding it difficult to kind of like effectively manage that front line and, deploy his troops effectively and things. But what can you do? We just, he just has to put up with it. It's just, that's all. You just have to deal with it, Louis Farrell. Man up! That's what I say. Man up and prove that you are not the other general. I mean, we've got like superstar generals here. There's no doubting it. Like Bustamante here. I mean, he's busting Mantis left, right, and centre. He's had his bad days, I mean, there's no doubt. He's had his off moments, but right now, his Manti-busting days are back. He's back in full-on Manti-busting mode with the American Rocky Mountains here. Are these the Rocky Mountains? Let's assume these are the Rocky Mountains. They're the Californian mountains. They are mountains in the Californian region. There's a lot of mountains around here, but eventually they're all going to belong to the Mexicans. And we're going to go on like camping holidays with our kids up into the mountains and kind of, chat about the old days when this was American territory. But of course they had originally stolen it from the Mexicans, and therefore it was perfectly legitimate for us to invade and conquer it in the name of the Workers' Revolution. Let's pause the attack. Pause the attack, Gallardo. The Mexicos! The Mexicos have joined the fray. Look, you can get in there, join Louis Farrell's great contingent. We've got Infanteria Bravados. We're going to get you down there as well. Might actually be a good idea to start a second army in this area with a new general. Oh, do we dare recruit a new general? I mean, he's probably going to be a clone of one of the existing generals. That's the only thing. Ramon Sales could possibly come up from the south if this is kind of... If all these guys are doing is kind of holding off this little band. You two. Join Ramon Sales and we will make one last attempt to bust them down. The Brazilians are not doing a great job, it has to be said, of you know, holding off the European forces who once held a foothold in the Americas, but frankly we have to leave them to it for now. Oh no, look, we've got a problem. Got a problem. Come on, boys. Get stuck in. We need to drive them back. We've actually lost Sacramento. Gallardo has been pushed out. His bravado was simply too much for the moment, for the time at hand, and we are paying for it, unfortunately, now. Let's get some of these forces pulled back. Look at this, we've really taken a huge swathe of the mountains. Admittedly, we're taking like massive attrition because we're now wandering around in the mountains, which is just really bad for us. But if we can like push into this area here, this looks like desert. Desert. Fight in the desert. Oh, it's perhaps not the most glorious situation to find yourself in, fighting over a desert. But as long as we can recapture Sacramento, frankly, I'll consider it all a win. Look, we have definitely made substantial gains here. We're pushing them right back across the board. Let's get a bunch of troops here. We're going to concentrate forces and make a push for New Orleans. And then we're going to maybe nuke a couple of their other cities. National focus complete. Special forces. Excellent. You might research some more special forces then at some point. There's just so much to do. Gallardo, where's your front line? Louis, your front line. We will pull back. Here. And Bustamante, we're going to give you a front line. Like that. There we go. We can like sweep up and then just come across. Way to do it, isn't it? Just sweep up to Canada. I mean, to be fair, the Canada Popular State may well attack us, but if they do, then they will experience the full might and fury that is the Mexican Socialist Republic, because we spent a lot of time and money and agitators convincing them that the socialist path was the right path. Republican Spain, sure, why not? And they then backstabbed us by joining the Allies, the filthy Canadian buggers, and they will eventually come within the Green Dawn, by hook or by crook, by force or by friendship. They will join the Mexicans, as is their ultimate destiny. Attack! We've got these new Unicornios. Well, one of you can join Gallardo Magno because he has room in his divisions for such a thing. The rest of you, I guess, are just going to have to go and join Louis Farrell's massive army because everyone else is already full. And frankly, Louis Farrell needs it. Modern tank destroyers have been researched. Fantastic. Should we also get SPG, artillery units? We really need AM. Basically have the heirs of the Americas sewn up. That's good. Production. How are our modern tanks coming? Really not at all, in fact. Fine. Super heavy tanks, let's cut that back a bit. Close air support, cut that back a bit. Let's actually bump some of them up. Construction, factories, military factories. To the top with you. To the top, to the top. All of you to the top. There we go. The infrastructure repairs in California are just going to have to wait. The roads in California... I mean, I know we might get some hippies complaining to us, saying, hey man, the roads, the potholes, man. And I don't mean holes made by potheads. I mean potholes in the road. Yeah, it's just something that the interim authorities in California are going to have to contend with. All right, fine, good. You can march on. Counterattack! Yes! Yes, that is what we want. We want to retake Northern California. I really think if we can reach Canada and sweep across, it isn't actually going to extend our line that much. Like once we get up to about here, well, I mean it'll be quite extended, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be perfectly fine. You boys getting redeployed. They're really running for us. Look, we've really made a difference. We've got 3 nukes in the bag as well now. 3 nukes ready to deploy. Go back to Sacramento here. These 5 troops are going to be annoying, kind of like milling about behind our lines. Got supply problems, very low supply. Oh, we've been pocketed. We've been pocketed. That's not good. We've lost Sacramento. Retake Sacramento, boys. Retake Sacramento. Come on, boys. Come on. Gallardo Magna has been pocketed here in the north. So eager was he to recover his lost Cuban cigar stash that he's rushed foolhardily up the river here and left his flanks somewhat exposed. Retake Sacramento. It must be taken in the name of all that is sacred. We must take Sacramento. Bad supply. It's only 1.9%. Mud, 70%. The mud in this region. What is this region? Just California. This part of California, obviously packed with mud. It's no good. It's no good at all. Yes, we've retaken Sacramento. Good. Hold Sacramento now. Gallardo, pull back to Sacramento. Hold this line. Clearly, we got a little bit ahead of ourselves in our rush to try and reach Canada and conquer the Americas in some kind of glorious wave-like fashion, riding across the city, the country, and that's gonna have to. We're gonna have to, you know, reset our expectations a little bit there. Down here in the south, however, Louis Farrell is in a strong position to push on Louisiana, and of course New Orleans, the city of New Orleans, which I think we can take for ourselves. Good. Maintain that front line, boys. Maintain the front line. Wow, it's just been like a whole episode of just mad fighting along this frontier, trying to like jiggle forces into position, toing and froing. We've definitely pushed the Americans back somewhat. We've had some like counterattacks though. We've had some fairly substantial counterattacks. Let's send one of these infantry divisions up here just to support these mountain special forces who are trying to hold out against superior American forces just swarming all over us. Look, we can take an airfield here. That could be quite handy actually, taking an airfield. Let's do that. Take the airfield. Push them back across the river. Ride them to the river. Keep going, fight on. I'm not sure how we're going to break this stalemate. It's going to be like a long, hard slog pushing the United States back, like bit by bit by bit. I guess we could just hoard up like 5 or 6 nukes and then just like hit them with a whole array of nuclear weapons. We also might have some technology coming downstream that we'll be able to make use of. We've got better tactical bombers coming. We've obviously got our modern tanks under production as well now. We could like add some tank destroyers to our modern tanks, which could be good for dealing with his tanks and other such things. Maybe add some artillery to it as well. We've taken the airfield. Let's deploy some air assets. We've got 98 close air support. We'll bring in all of that close air support. How big is this? 1,000. We'll bring in some tactical bombers. Yes, we'll bring in some rocket interceptors and some jet fighters as well. Oh yeah. We better make sure we hold this now. More troops in to make sure that we hold the airfield, the new airfield, which will be raining many deaths and possible destructions down. Little Rock, you're going to be mine. Tulsa, you're going to be mine. Springfield, presumably possible home to the Simpsons, although I believe there may be a Springfield in every state in America. Or maybe that's just something I heard randomly at some point. Move up, defend, hold out, protect, push back, advance. Be Mexican in spirit and might, and all wondrous things shall come to you. It's really hard, especially when you've not played this game for such a long time. But there's just so So many things going on along this frontier that we've got to constantly attend to. It looks like the Brazilians are doing all right down here. We've still been unable to actually push back. I guess we've still got our forces coming in to bolster them a little bit, so we could nuke them. We could nuke them and then attack. I'm so tempted. If only I was producing more nuclear weapons, that would be awesome. How's our production going? Construction, building a bunch of factories. Okay, that's fine. Down here, can we reach New Orleans before the end of the episode? That's the question. I think it's the question on everyone's lips. Certainly the question on my lips, and it's going to be it's my stated goal now. It's my intention. It's what I would like to achieve. Yeah, we can do this. We can do this. Drive them back. Drive them back. So many glorious successes. So much glory for the Mexican Socialist Republic. Even Louis Farrell, the other general, the also general, the man so forgotten by most of the Mexican Socialist Republic. Even he is now on the verge of getting his own movie, or possibly TV series. Probably more likely to be a TV series. Maybe like a documentary. It'll probably be quite a dull documentary because he'll have quite a lot of input into it, and he'll be like, yes, when I was attacking the Americans along the frontier, the most important thing to do is to manage your logistics. Warfare, you see, is a matter of logistics. Logistics and shooting people. But I like to focus on the logistics part because I'm that way. And I'm sure there will be people who are just absolutely enraptured by it because, you know, it takes all sorts. Meanwhile, his glorious forces are about to capture, if not New Orleans itself, then certainly the peripheral region around it. And that is worthy of song and possibly even dance of some sort. Maybe his logistics are kind of, you know, they're doing all right. He's like desperately shipping stuff around, trying to make sure that we don't lose anywhere where we might at the moment look like a breach is going to be caused. Poor old Gallardo is still holding out here against this like vast American horde, but I fear to push forward with him. I'm not quite. We need something. We need like a game changer up there to make it happen. The airfield is in place. Look, let's do it. Let's deploy. All of these units, look. Air superiority, interception, close air support, close air support, close air support across the board. We can also intercept anyone coming in and trying to do so. We're not going to do kamikaze strikes. That's just completely unnecessary. In fact, let's leave the interception to the rocket interceptors, and we'll have our fighters doing. We'll leave the interception to the rocket interceptors, and we'll do air superiority missions with our brave fighter boys. Come on, we're nearly there. We can do this before the end of the episode. We can reach New Orleans. We can. We're going to strike. Strike now. Strike hard. Strike whilst he doesn't know what's going on. We've got presumably planes launching from this airfield right now to provide the much needed air support across this entire area. I mean, we've got planes coming in from quite far away, but having a frontline airfield is going to make a huge difference, I think, to allowing us to win there. I'm just assuming that's going to be the case. We're really pushing them back though. Look at this. Look at this. They're falling before us like rats falling before a rat catcher. With all of his rat-catching powers of rat destruction. What's this? Is that an American plane or is that one of mine? There's like a massive shadow of a plane I can't see. The Americans have some kind of stealth technology. Oh, I hope they're not going to bomb us. If that's a nuclear bomber coming in, frankly, we're going to be very upset. We're going to have to launch our own nuclear bombing strikes in retaliation against them. We now have 4 nukes ready to deploy. It could be one of our own strategic bombers, actually, that we just have somehow equipped with stealth technology without realizing it. It could be a Project 17 vehicle or unit that's just kind of like managed to sneak out. Well, there it is. Look, I'm going to keep it in view. We're still attacking in New Orleans here. We're winning that battle. We haven't quite won it yet. The boffins have completed research of the modern SP artillery, the tank-mounted artillery, which is fantastic and awesome. We will have them crank out possibly you know what? Actually, let's go with the Jet bombers. Why not? Why not dedicate some boffins? It means it's going to take a little while, but if we like eventually complete them before the end of all things, then we can use them to nuke basically anywhere in the United States if we decide we need to. The battle for New Orleans is turning against us. Let's bring in more troops. I really want to take this before the end. Before the end has arrived, I wish to take New Orleans. More forces. Focus more forces. Come on, boys. Just throwing bodies at them. More bodies! More bodies to attack. We're actually losing up here. Hold on, let's just pause this. We've got one troop here for some reason. I don't know why that is the case. Let's move. Unit of infantry down. And mountain special forces up as well. There we go. Hopefully that will stabilize the situation there. It looks like we're not going to be able to take New Orleans. This is not good. This is not the way that I want it to be. He's desperate. He's desperate to hold New Orleans. Look at all the forces he's bringing in to try and protect New Orleans. Counterattack. This is what we need to do. We need to cut off there. You know what? Let's just hunker down here for a second. The south is still fine. I think we've actually formed up here, so let's go ahead and attack. Come on, Ramad Saleh. One day we're going to come down and he's just going to have like romped across there and destroyed all of our enemies entirely. And we'll just be like kicking back in like a deck chair, like sitting on the beach, smoking a Cuban cigar, as all of the best generals do, and generally ordering around locals to bring in many fine things. And they will love doing it because, of course, they will have been liberated by the glorious workers' revolution, and therefore they will be elated as they consume their tequila rations and watch their Gallardo flicks and all of the other wondrous benefits that we like to lavish upon our conquered folks. But it looks like New Orleans might have to wait unless we can like cut off this reinforcement, attack them from another angle. He's just relentless though. He just keeps attacking. He just will not stop. He just will not stop ever until they are dead. We really need to distract them, pull them away, push this front line back. That's what we're going to do, but I think probably it's going to have to wait for next time because we're kind of running a little bit late. Unless one last desperate gambit can pull off a success. 60%. Battle is joined. Okay, one last push. One last push. We're going to go on New Orleans one last time. We're probably not going to succeed. It's already turning against us. Even now, we kind of need fresh forces down here. Let's bring another 3 troops in. We'll have you lot attack. If we can't take New Orleans, then we can at least like push them back here. The good news is our boys seem to be really good at defending. They're holding the line, apart from the odd breakthrough by Americano forces. They're holding the line really well. And so I think it's just a matter of time with the might of the Mexican research and the stuff the boffins are coming up with and the various like awesome stuff that we have available, not to mention brave Mexican soldiers who are nearly like constructed and ready to go to the front line and aid in our battle, our great war. All of these things I think fill me with confidence that ultimately we actually can be victorious. For possibly the first time this game, I actually think we can be victorious. Ramon Salas apparently can't be victorious here. Look, he just doesn't have it. He just doesn't have the men, the firepower necessary to do it. Sorry, Ramon. I don't know why it is, but you just can't. You have to accept that. What we should probably do in that case is send this close air support into a place where they're actually going to make a difference, where we can actually bring the battle to our foes. We will take New Orleans. But sadly, it seems that that is not something that will happen this time, because we have well and truly run out of time this time. Until next... Oh, wait a minute. What's going on up here? This is crazy. Look, we're going to have to stop there. We're just going to have to stop there. Next time, we will deal with this encroachment that the Americans have managed to achieve in Gallardos, California. We will take New Orleans, and we will continue to push them back. And indeed, as we now have 5 nuclear weapons at our disposal, we will deploy nuclear assets, possibly to aid us in that endeavor. But until then, thanks a lot for watching, everyone. I have been Weird Wizard, and I will see you later.